Well, today's episode is all about taking foods that are from the retail store, from the FMCG market, canned. I'm creating a combination of all these and creating recipes out of that. And this episode or this recipe now onwards is going to be friendly for everyone who loves cooking but feels kind of challenged in the kitchen, for bachelors, for spinsters, and also for those young minds who want to eventually do something in the kitchen. The recipe for today: instant noodles with vegetables and sauce. Let's begin. First things first, let's begin with water. What I'm using is instant noodles. Now, instant noodles have no salt. Salt, of course, becomes part of the recipe because of the premixes and the spices and things like that. But it's important to salt the water. Now, how much? What I use as a thumb rule is for every liter of water, I add in 1 tablespoon of salt. Now, because this is roughly 1.5 liters, I'm going to add in 1.5 tablespoons of salt. And once the water comes to a roll boil, I'm going to drop in instant noodles. The noodle cake literally is fried and then dried. So you need to understand that it is partially cooked. Now, because it is partially cooked, it's not going to take a lot of time to cook. So this precisely 1.5 minutes and it's absolutely perfect. Do not add in oil like the way you usually see and hear and read everywhere that oil needs to be added so that it does not clog. But it's important to understand that the moment oil coats the surface of anything, salt or any flavor does not go inside the starch. Boil this precisely for 1.5 minutes. It's important to ruffle this once, twice over so that all of this separates and cooks perfectly well. And once the time is up, we can turn the flame off and very carefully remove this. At this point in time, it's important to take a ladle full of water and keep that aside because that's where the beautiful starch is. And that eventually will help in thickening the sauce. Let's quickly move on to the vegetables. In the same wok, I'm going to add in a little bit of oil. It could be peanut, sesame, or any nut oil of your choice. Let's move on to vegetables. Now, these vegetables are from an Asian store. It has a combination of zucchini, bell peppers, American corn, some parsley, celery, red cabbage, broccoli, and the likes. I'm taking how much I need. Let's dip this in water. Let's draw this out of water and splash this in hot oil. And let's move on to seasoning these vegetables. Along with this, let's also add in some freshly cracked black pepper. Well, it's important to toss the vegetables on high flame because you do not want these to turn limp. Well, do not do these experiments at home. You can take a ladle or a spoon and just toss it from here and there, and that should be perfect. Time to add in a sauce of your choice. Now, I'm using a hot garlic sauce. So this is literally like a one-stop shop when it comes to sauces. Now, you can go all out and choose maybe a combination of Hunan, oyster, hot garlic, sweet garlic, just garlic, spicy garlic, hot bean, black bean. Go all out and choose. Eventually, every sauce that you choose from the market, whether bottled or canned, is going to add its own little nuance. For now, this one is hot garlic. Now, I'm deliberately not speaking about the brands here because I do not want you guys to have any biases. Go all out and choose the brands of your choice. Let's now transfer this straight into the wok. A couple of spoons. It could be 2, 3, 4, depending on the intensity of the sauce and your liking. And to this, I'm also adding in the starch water that I'd kept aside. And mix this all together and you'll see and realize that this thickens beautifully well. Allow this to cook precisely for 1 minute on high flame and there you're done. Well, noodles are ready, sauce is ready, time to plate. Let's begin with our instant noodles. I'm deliberately moving this to the corners of the plate. Let's scoop this generously like so. And in the center cavity, I'm going to place the sauce and the vegetables. With this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your instant noodles are done and ready. You can also call these instant pot noodles because pot noodles basically are a combination of noodles, the curry or the gravy, vegetables, or any choice of protein. Now onwards, go all out, stroll the supermarkets, collect things, pick them up, and convert them into wonderful food the way I show you. For now, this is me, Varun Namdar, signing off. Bye for now.